650 meters below the surface of the Caribbean Sea, the environment is inhospitable. At this depth, the water pressure is 60 times higher than at the surface. There is no sunlight, only cold, black silence. Yet, resting on this stretch of the ocean floor is a collection of structures that suggest an organized, artificial presence. Sonar mapping reveals distinct shapes: pyramids standing 40 meters high, wide strips of stone resembling roads, and circular formations that span the size of entire city blocks. These are not the random, jagged formations typical of deep-sea geology. They are symmetrical, repeated forms arranged according to a visible architectural plan on a seabed that remains inaccessible to most of humanity. In 2001, marine engineer Paulina Zalitsky was mapping the ocean floor off the western coast of Cuba. Her team was hired to conduct a routine survey for shipwrecks and natural resources. As the research vessel moved through the Yucatan Channel, the sonar feed transitioned from a flat, natural seabed to a series of stark, symmetrical right angles. The site covered 200 hectares. The data showed a structured urban layout sitting 2,100 feet deep, a scale that suggests a city rather than a singular structure. Later, a robotic vehicle equipped with cameras confirmed the sonar readings. It recorded massive megalithic blocks, precisely shaped and stacked, in a style that resembles the standing stones of Stonehenge or Easter Island. The most significant finding was the presence of inscriptions. Video footage captured symbols carved directly into the stones, markings that an anthropologist from the Cuban Academy of Sciences identified as intentional and non-natural. While natural erosion can occasionally produce geometric patterns, it does not produce symbolic language. The combination of organized architecture and these carved inscriptions moves the site from a geological curiosity to an archaeological crisis. For an urban center to exist at the bottom of the Caribbean, it had to have been built on dry land. The depth of the site creates a direct conflict with our current understanding of history. This diagram shows a cross-section of the coastal shelf. The last time global sea levels were low enough to expose land at a depth of 650 meters was during the final stages of the last ice age, roughly 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. However, regional geological activity complicates that date. Geologist Manuel Iturralde Venente calculated that the tectonic plate movement required to submerge this land to its current depth suggests the city could be 50,000 years old. This timestamp predates the accepted milestones of civilization. 50,000 years ago, there is no evidence of agriculture, the wheel, or written language anywhere else on the planet. If the physical evidence at this site is verified, it requires a choice. We either have a significant misunderstanding of regional geology, or the timeline of human development needs to be completely reevaluated. Mainstream archaeology remains skeptical. The primary objection is that a city of this age is out of place. No known culture in the Americas had the capacity for this level of architectural organization at that time. Skeptics suggest that what the sonar detects is simply limestone that has fractured into regular patterns along fault lines, a natural occurrence that can mimic right angles. This argument struggles to explain the layout. The sonar footage shows a stepped, symmetrical design that echoes the pyramids of the Maya. It is a logic of organization that appears deliberate, not accidental. Despite these questions, interest in the site stalled. No major oceanographic institution has funded a follow-up expedition to the Yucatan Channel in over 20 years. Deep-sea exploration carries a high price. Operating remotely operated vehicles at these depths requires millions of dollars in funding, which was difficult to secure for a site located within Cuban waters during a period of political isolation. Discoveries that contradict the established record rarely face an organized conspiracy. Instead, they are often lost to a lack of resources, defunded by a system that has no protocol for processing an anomaly of this scale. This map shows that the structures off Cuba are part of a broader pattern. From India to Japan and Greece, researchers have documented geometric formations on the ocean floor. In 2001, sonar surveys in the Gulf of Combat off India revealed 5 miles of geometric structures. Carbon dating of recovered materials suggests the site is 9,500 years old, predating the regional civilizations currently in our history books. Off the coast of Japan, the Yanaguni Monument features a flat, right-angled stone platform. Its depth places it above the waterline during the last ice age, suggesting it was modified when the land was dry. These sites prove that the ocean frequently reclaims human history. The ruins of Pavlopetri in Greece show clear walls and foundations sitting beneath the waves, a verified city that was swallowed by the sea 5,000 years ago. Human societies have always settled near the water. When the glaciers melted at the end of the last ice age, sea levels rose by 120 meters, submerging the coastlines where the earliest cities would have been built. We have not yet reached the beginning of the human story. We have only studied the pieces of it that survived on high ground, while the oldest evidence of our development remains in the dark, waiting to be investigated.